All right, second hour, you want to solve for all three sides of a triangle. You want to find the length of all three sides. There's rules for 45, 45, 90s. What that means is this is a 45-degree angle, that's a 45-degree angle, here's your 90. 45, 45, 90. So one of the great things that happens for you is the two legs of the right triangle turn out to be the same. They're congruent to each other. So if you know one side, say you know this side is 7, then this side is also 7. Now the hypotenuse, the one that's opposite of the right angle, hypotenuse, take whatever you've got here, the 7, use that and just multiply it times square root of 2. So that's how you find all three lengths of a 45, 45, 90. This is 7, this is 7, this is 7 square roots of 2. So how it looks on an assignment or a test is I'll give you one side is 8, here's a B, here's a C, and you got to solve the other two sides. So you look at it like, oh, I got this. I know these two sides are the same, so if this is 8, that's 8, so B is equal to 8. And then you just grab whatever you've got, 8, and multiply in square root of 2. So 8 square roots of 2 for your hypotenuse. All right, let's do some more of these. All right, so if you had another 45, 45, 90. If I just gave you one side, like I said, this was 9, and you had a D and an E to solve for, you could work your way around the triangle fairly quickly. You're like, all right, I got this. These sides are always the same, so if this is 9, this is 9, this is 9 square roots of 2. So E, the hypotenuse, 9 square roots of 2, this is 9. All right, so if you know one of the shorter sides, one of the legs of the right triangle, goes pretty quick. We can also work this in reverse. So let's say we start with the hypotenuse. All right, let's do this. 45, 45, 90. D, E. Make this F, G. Okay, got a 45, 45, 90 triangle. This time you know the hypotenuse, and you're just trying to work back to figure out what the small sides are. So going forward, you multiplied in the square root of 2 when you were going forward, getting bigger. Now we're going backwards, we're getting smaller, so instead of multiplying in, we have to divide out. So you take whatever you got and you divide by the square root of 2. But the good news is those square root of 2's just cancel, and you got 11. And even better, these two sides are the same. So if this is 11, that's 11. It's like F, G. So 11, 11, 11 square roots of 2. Okay, might as well do one of the tougher ones. All right, maybe this will be the hardest one of the day, number 5. So again, we've got a 45, 45, 90 triangle. This time, we'll start with a hypotenuse, length of 12, F, G. We'll go with J and K. But there's no square root of 2 involved. We have the longer side. We're going to work backwards, try to get to the smaller side. When you're working backwards, instead of multiplying in square root of 2, you divide out square root of 2. So this would be 12 divided by square root of 2, which is a correct answer, but in math class you can't leave a square root on the bottom. So you've got to fix this to get the square root off the bottom. So strategy is getting the square root off the bottom. Kind of learn a cool math trick here. Whatever square root they have, just multiply by it. So if they have square root of 2, you multiply by square root of 2. Now it is math class. Once you do the bottom, you got to do the top. So if you hit it by square root of 2 on the bottom, you got got to hit it by square root of 2 on the top. So the top's pretty easy. Just 12 times square root of 2 is 12 square root of 2. The bottom's kind of fun. You've got square root of 2 times square root of 2, which equals square root of 4. But you're like, I know the square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So it's a pretty cool little problem. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 just turns out to be 2. You've got one step left to clean this up. You're allowed to simplify with the number on the outside. So that's a 12 on the outside. He's fair game to divide by that 2. So 12 divided by 2 gives me 6 square roots of 2 for my final cleaned up version for K and for J. So what that looks like for us is that we worked all the way back here. This turns out to be 6 square roots of 2, and then these are the same, so that's 6 square roots of 2. So had to learn a little move to get the square root off the bottom. Let's do one more of these hard ones. All right, one more hard one. Let's see if we've got this or don't got this. So a 45, 45, 90. Let's do the hypotenuse again. Let's say we want to find for M and for N. Okay, again, it's like, am I going forward and finding the bigger one, multiplying n squared root of 2? Or, in this case, I already got the big one. I've got to work backward and divide out the square root of 2. All right, and this is a nice answer, 14 divided by square root of 2. That's good. I mean, it's correct. You just can't leave a square root on the bottom. So we've got to clean that up by knocking the square root out of the bottom. So the process for doing that, whatever square root you have square root of 2, multiply by the square root of 2. And again, math class, what you do the bottom, must do the top. So we're going to hit it square root of 2 on top, square root of 2 on bottom. The top's easy. That's just 14 times the square root of 2. The bottom's that cool math trick that you just learned. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, which is just 2. So it's a pretty cool little trick. And then don't forget, you got to divide out, if there's an outside number, you got to see if you can simplify that. 14 divided by 2, it's 7. So this cleans up to be 7 square roots of 2, which is great for us because now it gets a square root off the bottom. So this was 14 square roots of 2, but after we clean it up, it becomes 7 square roots of 2, and these are the same, so this is also 7 square roots of 2. So that's how you work it with the harder problems, working from the hypotenuse back to the smaller sides. So hopefully this helps getting all the way around all three sides, 45, 45, 90.